The following program does not necessarily reflect the views of PMLB Media or its sponsors.
Hello and welcome to the program. I am your host, Phatman.
And I'm Little Boy.
And I want to apologize to those of you out there. We haven't had a show out in a couple of weeks, and I feel real bad about it. I'm going to pretty much lay all the blame on Little Boy, and because that's the right thing to do.
That's a Republican thing to do anyways. Let's blame everybody else.
But we do apologize for that. This is going to be a short, quick, we're still out here, you know, for those of you who are upset. For those of you that are happy we've been off, well, too bad.
Yeah, Darren's been giving me a hard time just about every day that we haven't put out a show. So
yeah, it's really funny. That guy puts out 2 a week, and then he just leaves.
Yeah.
And then he turns around. Okay, whatever. Anyway, Little Boy, we have a couple of things to talk about, and let's get right into it. Actually, though, before we get into it, I want to ask you something.
Okay.
How was your week? I haven't asked you in 3 weeks, and maybe that's why it's been the way it's been.
It's been good. I've been, as you know, I've been trying to learn how to do some editing and stuff, and it's been very, very difficult, you know. But you know, I keep working on it, and we'll get there. You know, I want to learn how to do the editing, and it's just going to take some time.
We have a new show that debuted today. Is it debut or
Debut?
Debut, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway. That debuted today, called BT on PMLB. He's actually a reporter that's a roving reporter who's going to be working for PMLB Media. And he did a pretty good Super Bowl wrap-up. Next week he's got some things with the Special Olympics.
Yeah,
and so
I heard.
It should be pretty interesting.
That's really neat stuff.
He's a young guy, went to the academy the year after I went through. He was one of my trainees at the department here in San Diego, so I really liked him. He really enjoys this, so hey, he's good at it. So
yeah.
Gosh, let's get going.
I wanted to take a quick moment. I wanted to thank a listener, Ray, who sent me in the model of the Air Force One.
You did this before, didn't you?
We didn't air that one.
Oh, that show didn't air.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ray did. Thank you very much. And also, Ray sent this to me. My hero, of course. We all know that I love Reagan and Reagan Calendar. So, Ray, thank you very much.
We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate the items. I've actually toured Air Force One at the Reagan Museum, and it's pretty awesome.
You know, it would be great to do a show from there, but I doubt they would let it.
I doubt they'd let us.
I've never seen one, so.
Yeah, you can't even take pictures inside Air Force One.
Oh, really?
Yeah, outside but not inside.
I couldn't go in there. It was too claustrophobic. No. But, I mean,
right.
There's a little different size of me. It's not a 747, that one.
And you're a bit of a baby, too, so.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you watch Super Bowl?
I did watch Super Bowl.
Yeah?
You know what? The team that I wanted to win did not win.
The team that I wanted to lose, one of them won and one of them lost.
Now, here's what's funny is, I think that you and I are on the same page.
Yes.
The team that I wanted to win the Super Bowl was the Chargers, but they weren't there.
They weren't there.
And you're the same. I want to both to lose too. You know, it's so funny. We're not a football show, so I don't really want to get into this because we have our own football show. But oh man, what a game! It was boring, I thought, for the first half, and then got a little more exciting. But when you don't have a team in that you really care about, and we're on the West Coast, so pretty much nobody on the West Coast cared. And
I just watched the show from the view of a hater, and I just hated the whole time. I was just hating. I just watched with anger.
You know, it's funny because even with BT today, when he was on doing the Super Bowl recap, didn't bring something up, and I was going to talk to the football guys tomorrow when they're on. That was a house that Peyton built that they were in. You know, and yeah, I know it was Eli's day, and now they're calling him elite. Even BT called him elite today, which made me sick. But you know, they could have at least acknowledged a little bit about Peyton Manning. As much as I don't really like him that much.
They're getting ready to release him. I like him a lot more than Eli, but the whole elite thing, as much as it pains me to say, I mean, what do you
Two Super Bowl rings.
You know?
I know. So maybe he is. I don't know.
What do you think? Did you watch the halftime show?
I did.
It sucked. Sucked.
What was your biggest complaint? The fact that
my biggest complaint is she's lip syncing. I hate lips. If you want to watch lip syncing, turn on MTV. Well, first get in your time machine and turn on MTV 25 years ago when they used to show videos. That's where you lip sync. When you're going to do a concert, you need to sing.
I don't think. I don't know because I've never done that. But I know even here, it's hard to do anything,
It's a
physical.
concert. Sing. Tom Petty sang.
Tom Petty stayed there. Tom Petty
I don't
didn't
care.
move.
I'll tell you what. I would have much rather.
How'd you know she's lip syncing? Although everybody
come
knew she was
on.
lip syncing, but how'd you know?
I have 2 eyes. That's how I can tell. Let me tell you something. I would have rather watched her do our dancing and sing and sound terrible. I would have enjoyed it more because at least I know she was really singing.
So basically,
Anybody can press play and go up there. You know, Milli Vanilli, for crying out loud, made a career of that.
they did, and they did really
I think
well.
that they should. I know that there's plenty of other things that need to be taken care of, but I'll tell you what, if you're going to do a concert and you're going to lip sync, you should have to announce before, hey, we're lip syncing here. You know, just so you know you're not getting your money's worth. We're just going to come up here and dance and pretend to sing.
It's so funny because I have a question for you, little boy. If you could have a plate of French fries that were the best fries in the world, but you only get a couple for $10, or that same $10 got you a ton of fries that were kind of crappy.
I just want the couple fries.
Yeah, the couple fries.
Good ones. And we had a friend when we went out one time, and he said, "Oh, I'd rather have a big plate of the crappy fries." I couldn't believe it. I said, "You would rather eat a giant plate of crap than a small little plate with just really, really tasty food." I mean, how could anybody think like that?
Yeah, no, I know, and I know that's
know?
exactly where you're coming from.
Well, you know
on
how
this,
people
too.
think like that? People who go to Hometown Buffet.
Ugh.
You can have all you can eat of crap. And that's what it is.
Well, look at me. I'm not skinny by any stretch of the imagination, but I cannot stand Hometown
No,
Buffet.
it sucks.
So, and you know, you would
sucks.
think, oh, geez, that guy's got to eat there like a
Yeah.
trough. You know? No,
No,
I don't.
It's terrible.
know.
Last time I went there was about 2 or 3 years ago, and you know, usually it was for a while. Every year I'd fall into the trap. I'd start seeing the commercial. I'd say, "Oh, you know, the food looks pretty good." And we'd go there, and as I'm in the middle, like, why am I here? This is terrible.
Again, you know. Oh man.
So, anyways,
okay.
lip syncing sucks. Leave it to videos for lip syncing. If you're gonna do a concert, sing. I don't care if it sounds like crap. Sing.
Let's get into our show.
All right.
Although that was kind of comical.
Well, I just, you know. I had a whole nother rant I wanted to go off on Bill Belichick too, but we have a show that does stuff like that, so I'm gonna I'll stick to how awesome Obama
What?
is.
You know, why don't? Oh, Jesus. So you just blew it. You just blew it for me. Why don't you actually go on one of the other shows? Because
maybe.
you're a huge sports buff.
Yeah.
Why don't you do
Maybe
do
I
a show
will.
with the football guys or something? Because to be honest with you, this little guy here, he knows a lot about sports, a lot more than I know about sports, and I'm a baseball freak. This guy knows a lot about sports. So, and director Joe, who's behind the scenes too, he's a really big baseball guy.
Yeah.
So, let's get into this. I see that you put in the New York Daily News today, said that President Obama thinks he deserves a second term.
Yeah, he was interviewed when he was interviewed during, I think it was
Super
was it
Bowl.
before the show or was it halftime?
Right after. He was interviewed during halftime, but they didn't air it.
They aired it before, I think, before or during. It was before.
I
They
didn't
aired
see
it
it.
before. They aired it before.
Must be, because I didn't
Yeah.
see it. Okay, here's a couple things. And you know, Fox News reported on this today as well.
I got a good Fox News story for you.
What president, out of curiosity, first off, I don't think he deserves a second term. Of
course you don't.
I think that's
The
that's
second he was
evident.
elected, you thought that.
Well, and I think he hasn't really got anything done that he
Things
said
are
he was going
starting
to
to
get done.
look good.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
First of
yeah.
all, no president ever gets done everything they say they're going to get done.
And to be
But
honest with you, there's
let me-
very few presidents I think
I'll tell
ever
you-
did deserve a
I'll
second.
tell you the Republicans are starting to get a little bit upset because things are starting to actually look good, and you guys all want them to fail.
No, I
Yes,
want
you
things to
do.
be better. You
No,
think
you
I don't want the economy
You
to be
want
better?
things to not be better long enough for a new guy to get in there.
That's
Then
not
you
true.
want things to
That
be
is
better.
not true. I have done everything I can to do our part to make the economy better. I don't do anything to hurt it, and you know
I
that.
didn't say you do anything to hurt
No,
it.
and I wouldn't do anything to hurt it. I would do everything I could to get it to go better. So, but anyway, what do you think? Okay, well, here's what I want to do. He came up with, okay, yeah, things aren't moving the way they should
No.
be, and I didn't get done what I said I was going to get done. I did watch the interview. But he said, I do deserve a second term because I've tried, and things are possibly starting to move forward.
Things are moving forward.
Now, I have a
Not
question
possible.
for you.
Things
No,
are moving forward.
and that's good. I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. What in your mind tells you that he deserves a second term other than just the fact that he's Democratic?
Well, over the last 22 months, the economy's added 3.2 million private sector jobs.
Okay, how much did it lose when he got elected?
Now, you got to remember, I don't have that exact number. It was a lot, but do you think the second he got elected, those jobs that we're losing were his fault?
No, but I think
the jobs that we were losing at the beginning of his is from the previous administration.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Absolutely.
Because the 3.2 million 3.2 million jobs that have grown are
from the stimulus package, which nobody thought worked.
Yeah.
But now it looks like it is working.
3.2 million. So what you're saying is $1 trillion stimulus package only got 3.2 million people working. Do you see the problem there? Do you know how much money that is?
It had to. We had the train going in the wrong direction. It had to slow it down, stop it, and then get it going the right direction. There's a lot of work
How
to
many
be done.
jobs have been lost?
I don't have that number. It was a lot.
It was significant.
It was a lot, but they were being lost all through the Bush presidency.
Of course they were.
And at the beginning of the Obama, and he has stopped it and turned it around. You don't see that?
I see. No, I do see that the job loss is less. I like the 3.2 million that are coming up, but I'm not saying that's a huge win yet. The win would be the fact that you stop loss altogether. That is a win.
Yeah,
but it was a very expensive win.
We are heading towards win.
But it was a very expensive win. Could it have been done differently? Yes. Could it have been done better? Probably, because
I don't
hindsight
think so.
hindsight is always easier. You know what I mean? Because we didn't know how to fix it when it happened. But the cost was quite significant. And what I don't like is, I don't want to say he hasn't done his job, because he has. I mean, helping to stop the economy, from having this slip. Although it's, you talk to some people, they say one thing, well, some people say the other. But either way, helping with the stop.
We all knew it was moving in the wrong direction when he took over.
Right, but I'm talking about this. No, you brought it up.
You ask one person one, and everybody knows.
Right.
Everybody knows.
At what cost? I mean, you have to weigh both. $1 trillion to get 3.2 million jobs. For me, right now, is a lot of money.
I don't know if it was. Was it $1 trillion?
Yeah, it was almost $1 trillion.
I don't think so. Let me.
No, you'll have to figure that out. But anyway,
$1 trillion is not. The American Reinvestment and Recovery Act, the stimulus package, was $874 billion.
Okay, so a little less than $1 trillion.
Less than, still less.
So 800 and how much?
74.
$874 billion. Okay. So if you divide 3.2 million into 874 billion, it costs how many tens of millions of dollars per job?
Well, we can talk about spending and stuff, because I actually found some other stuff on. Everybody's talking about how much.
Well, I'm saying this, and I'm hoping that you'll give me.
Job? I don't. Okay,
no, but I'm hoping you'll give me some insight to it. Do you think the ends justifies the means there? Do you think you had to spend that kind of money?
I do.
Really?
I do.
And you think that with that amount of money spent, the 3 million jobs was enough?
Yeah. Well, I think that, because you're counting the jobs that were gained, but that money also stopped the jobs from being lost as well. It absolutely had to happen. Absolutely had to happen.
I think, personally for me, I think it's just a little too much money.
Okay.
That's all. I mean, because you could have turned around and, for that kind of money, opened up a whole business that the government could have been in, employing 100 million people.
We could have gone to war with another country.
We could have done that too.
Which is what Bush liked to do with the money.
Hey, let me tell you something. I don't want to go to war with anybody, but there's a lot of things that could be done. I just don't think we got the bang for the buck there, but maybe we did. We won't know for a few more years if we really got it. I just think it was kind of expensive. Go ahead.
No, it's just, I wanted to, you were talking about spending and stuff. I found some other interesting numbers about, everybody talks about how much Obama has spent and how much Obama has increased the deficit. But the Center for, let me see if I have the numbers right here. Let me see who did it here.
Well, while you're dealing with that.
I'm trying to find it here in front of me.
While you're doing with that, let's go to the next one. This is Senate Democrats unveil the Warren Buffett tax plan.
Let me go back to this real quick. The Congressional Budget Office ran some numbers, and they talked about from 2001 to 2009, Bush's policies added $5.1 trillion to the national debt.
Okay.
$5.1 trillion. Now, from 2009 to 2017, assuming Obama has 2 terms, and projecting out for, of course, 2011 through 17, because he hasn't been president that whole time yet, his policies are set to add $983 billion to the national debt, which is less than 1/5 of what Bush did, and all Republicans are
And
always
where does that
talking
come
about,
from? And where does that come from? Not that it's from the where does that come from? Because here it is. You could turn around and say
Bush's 1.812 trillion is from his tax cuts. 853 billion are for the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. 616 billion from higher Pentagon spending, 608 billion in non-defense discretionary spending, 480 billion in other tax-related matters, 293 in entitlement changes, 224.
So there you go. So basically what you're saying is everything that he spent the money on. Now what happens if next week we go to war with Iran? See those numbers, the 800 billion or whatever it is?
We go to war with Iran, and that would be on Obama.
Right, but see, that number only takes into effect if everything stayed as of today.
Right,
and
that's all they can do.
And he gets the tax increases that he wants. Everything as things are now, which
continue on.
Has happened. So because they haven't extended any of the tax cuts, they haven't extended that yet.
Well,
so
if they extend the Bush tax cuts, it would still go under Bush because it was Bush's policy.
Oh, I see how it is. So it doesn't matter if they continue to do that. You just say that's the way it is. What I'm saying is, you can't turn around and take what happened 10 years ago and say it's never going to happen again.
I just get tired of Republicans talking about how much money Obama is spending. And when you really look at it, Bush spent much more than Obama.
Look at where that money went from.
He raised the debt, and he lowered money coming in, and he raised money going out. You can't do both.
He had a war. Our country
war that
was
we should have never got into.
Oh, that's your opinion. We were attacked.
That's many people's opinion.
Yeah, less than half.
No,
we were attacked.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Show me a number. Show me a number.
You show me a number.
No, you show me a number.
You're
I don't have to. I don't have to show you a number.
I don't have to either.
Well, then there you go.
Because you said first.
So
more
you have
half,
a
so
war that we were attacked. You had to bring back the military that was decimated during the Clinton years.
Not decimated. That's
yes,
not true.
It was.
Not true.
You showed right there how much Pentagon spending was.
It went up. That doesn't mean it was.
Spending comes from.
That doesn't mean.
Where do you think that comes from?
That does not mean that the military was decimated. That just means that he raised.
They were decimated, and you had to bring them back.
No.
So you had a war. You had to bring your people back to it.
No.
You had a banking collapse. You had to do stupid bailouts, which I hated. All of that. If you turned around and said, hey, it's going to happen again in the next 5 or 6 or 8 years, you would have to add to Obama. The difference is Obama has already spent $1 trillion, and that $1 trillion he spent already is on not war-related items,
Obama
not being attacked from this company.
Extended out over 8 years, Obama is slated to raise the national debt by...
If everything stays status quo.
Right, which that's the only thing you can go by. Less than $1 trillion.
How do you, but see,
less than $1 trillion.
Then you turn, and that also means that also is with it's because right now the healthcare plan is not in effect.
Calculating
There's no way they're calculating a healthcare plan in there. There's no way. So don't even say they're doing that. What I'm saying is, I could turn around and say, hey, let me tell you something. If I was president today, there wouldn't be 1 extra cent spent if you go by the plans that are happening as of right this second. But you can't do that. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
That's all they can go by.
But that's just fluff.
But
that's fluff.
Fluff is Republicans saying how much money this guy is spending.
And he has. He spent almost $1 trillion.
When the last guy spent $5.1 trillion.
Yes, we were attacked. We had a terrible military.
That's
then
not
you went
true.
over the numbers. You went over the numbers.
That doesn't. I never said we had a terrible military. You said that.
You said
I went over
numbers. We just went over the numbers, and all of the
none of that says we had a terrible military.
More than half of the $5 trillion
that had nothing to do with
that's your mind. In your mind.
And you know it.
And I would have gone to fight, and you wouldn't have. That's the difference.
That's not true.
Oh, that's very true.
That is not true.
But let me tell you the difference.
You can just throw this crap out there. That means nothing.
So
that means nothing.
He's already spent 20% of what Bush spent in 10 years.
No.
In 2 years.
No, he's projected to spend that over 8 years.
If things stay as they are.
That's all you can go with.
But you don't know that they're going to happen.
You don't.
Well, there you go. But then why would you even throw those out?
Because everybody's talking about how much more he's spending.
A lot more. He's already at 20%, and he has nothing that he had to do.
He's not at 20%. He's projected to be at 20%.
And that's exactly. Oh, so those numbers don't matter.
They do. Remember, you're saying what they've projected in 8 years he's spent already, and he has not.
You just got finished saying that if things stayed the way they were and nothing changed,
Right.
he would have spent 20%.
After 8 years.
He'd spend 20% if
After
nothing
8
changed.
years. After 8 years, though. Not by now. Not up to this point.
Then it's spent.
No. I'm not talking about if nothing else gets spent. I'm talking about projected out. If things spending goes the way they are now, after
and nothing
8 years,
happens, he will have spent 20%.
He will have spent 20 years of what Bush spent in 8 years.
If nothing happens. Now, what happens? Something happens.
If nothing changes.
Right. But you know things are going to change. You know the health care is going to cost money. That's not in there. You know that. And we hope we don't go to war, but you have a chance of going to war with Iran.
But there's other things he can do to cut the budget too, and you don't know that either.
The other thing,
all we can do is project out
sure they're
what's
putting in
happened
there
so far.
is the way he wants to bill Congress or bill rich people, the
It's not in there.
wealthy.
That is not in there.
Show me where these come from.
I already told you where it comes from.
Where does it come from?
I'm going to do the same thing you do. Look it up.
Where does it come from?
Congressional Budget Office.
So
Look it up.
it's a U.S. government office.
Yes.
So
Look it up.
money spent now is 20%.
No, not money
If everything stayed status quo, it's 20%.
projected out over 8 years.
Yeah, if it stayed status quo.
Projected over 8 years.
Now, why would the government do that? Why would the government turn
telling you
around
that's-
and say, if everything just stayed alone, this guy would keep it only at 20%?
I'm saying I am tired.
Why is the Congressional Business Office involved in that?
They're nonpartisan, first of all. It's not a democratic thing.
Okay, where is it? You didn't even tell me where it is.
Look it up.
So
Look it up,
it's
just
a
like you always
government.
say to
It's
me.
a
Look it up.
government. It's a government facility that said that. So basically, you're right. 20%. If nothing happens at all, and he doesn't get, because you didn't show that his health care plan's in there, he's going to spend 20% of what Bush had to spend when we were attacked. We were in wars.
No,
he had to build the military.
You are acting like Bush had to spend all that money. He didn't. Bush railed us into a war that we should have never
That's
gotten
your
to.
opinion?
That is his fault.
That is your opinion.
That is his fault.
Your opinion.
And all these people, including you, who complain about all this money that Obama has spent, hasn't spent
20% already, and he didn't have to do anything yet. 20%.
He didn't. He had to get us out of a recession. He had to get us out of almost a depression.
20%, and nothing has happened. Thank God to this country. Yet he's
Nothing
able
is,
to.
Lots
he's
of
able
stuff
to-
has happened. We took care of Obama. I mean, of Obama. Jesus, we took care of Osama bin Laden.
Oh yeah, that took 6 people on a SEAL team.
Oh, you don't think he had anything to do
Oh
with
no,
that?
no, he had nothing to do with it. But no, but
please.
that's it.
Please.
No, I think he did really good by getting Clinton to take care of it. Yes.
Oh God, you're ridiculous.
So
You
no,
are
you
so
see, here's the thing. It's so easy for you to say this number.
No, I'm
but yet
saying
you're
it's so
just saying
easy
if,
for-
if the rosiness stays, we're only going to spend 20%. Let me tell you
You're
something.
saying he's had nothing. He hasn't had to do nothing. He's
So
been.
do me a favor.
He's been
so
trying
do
to
me
fight
a favor.
all the-
By the same numbers that you just gave me, just take out of that 5.1 billion everything.
5.1 trillion.
5.1 trillion. Everything that has defense related, and let's see what the number is.
Defense related, you can't count the wars because that was not defense related. That was offense.
How do you know
that
it
was
wasn't?
offense related?
How do you know? Well, that's
That was
defense
offense
related.
That was offense
Okay.
related.
Discount all military information in there and give me the number. Because that's what you're saying.
But it counts. The
I know
military
it counts, and it'll happen
So then
again,
why are you saying
and
to
he'll
take
have
it
the
out?
same problem.
Bull.
Because you don't want to
No.
think the same thing's gonna happen. Oh, he wouldn't do that. Oh,
I
he
didn't
would
say
do
he wouldn't
that.
do that. I don't think that he would go attack a country that had nothing to do with it.
But you don't know.
I
that
don't
had
think
nothing to do
that
with
we
it.
get bombed by Pakistan. He's not going to go attack Mexico.
Where does that come from?
The people Osama bin Laden,
Yeah.
all of that, Iraq had nothing to do with that.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
But you don't know that.
I know that you're right because we don't know anything. But I'll tell you what, as of today, there's been zero connection. No connection as of today. And that's all we can go by. Zero connection.
There has been
None.
many connections.
None. Zero. None.
Oh yeah, where? What do you mean none?
I can't show you none except doing this.
They
you
had.
show me where there
he
is
gave
connection.
millions and millions of dollars.
No.
Yes, he did, and they
you
found that
need
money
to show
trails.
me
No,
that.
I don't have to show you that.
Because it didn't happen.
It did happen.
You can't
It
show me
did
it didn't
happen.
happen.
It did
Bull.
happen.
It did not happen. No.
So you want to
No.
turn around? If
It
you want to
didn't
turn
happen.
around and say that it was the war and this and
didn't
that and the
happen.
other, that's fine. Let's pull those numbers out and let's
You're
go
not
over
going
the
to pull them
10
out because
years.
they count.
And they'll count if they happen again.
Well, if.
Well, that's
if
exactly
my aunt
it.
had balls, she'd be my uncle.
There you go. Then you can't go by the thing
Sure
that
you
just
can.
came
You're
up
saying
with.
ifs. I'm saying this is what happened. You're
Let me
saying
tell you
if
something.
this, if that,
Let me
if
tell you
this,
something.
if that.
Hey,
if the
if-
world stops spinning on its axis, this is what's going to happen.
Well, then let's do this. Romney gets in the office in next year, and he keeps status quo. His number's less than that.
Yeah, because
there you go. Then Romney should be in there.
If is all you can say.
So
all
then
what I've shown you is what is.
No,
you
showed if nothing changes.
Well,
if status quo
all
stays.
I can show you is what he's done so far.
And I tell you what.
And everybody talks about how much more money
if nothing
Bush has
changes,
spent
and I don't have to spend money tomorrow, I'll still have $1 in my wallet.
Everybody shows how much more. It talks about how much more money Obama spent than Bush, and it's not true.
It is true. He spent 20% doing nothing.
It's not doing nothing. Bull.
20%.
He's turning the economy around.
20% doing nothing.
He's fixing what your guy broke.
Yeah.
He's fixing what your guy broke.
Right.
He's just not fixing it as fast as you'd like.
Or you.
He's not fixing it as fast as anybody would like.
Right. So,
but he is fixing it, and I can see it, and it kills you.
Doesn't kill me.
It just kills you.
Doesn't
that
kill
this
me.
Is happening.
Doesn't.
Next year, this time, it's going to be even better. And you're going to be going, crap, I
know
wish the election was 2 years ago.
I know it's going to be better next year this time because we're going to have a new president elected.
No, we won't.
November.
We're not going to have a new president.
Yes, we will. November is the election.
But we're not going to have a new president.
Oh, we will. We will. And let me tell you why. Because as of today, even with these new numbers, Romney, who I don't even like, has got higher numbers than Obama.
He doesn't, actually. Obama's beating him by 6 points right now.
Not in every poll.
Well, the polls I've seen, that's
yeah. Well, MSNBC poll that you look at.
But
I looked at CNN's poll, the Gallup poll.
You need to show me these. I just saw one.
Which one?
Saw one. I don't even remember what it was. I just saw it on the news.
Well, you would remember.
I saw it on the news this morning. So it was either on CNN or Fox, because those are the only two news.
Well, the Fox one I looked at earlier, and it wasn't. Yeah. So there you go. All I can tell you is I really like the fact that you brought that up, that if the world stays rosy, we're all good.
That's not the way it is. You're turning it into something that it's not.
Yeah,
you're turning it into something that it's not.
But you'll turn around and say, well, this is what happened, and this is what will happen if everything stays rosy.
That's all you can go by. You can go by what we know.
That's not true. What we know.
We know that Bush's policies have cost us $5.1 trillion.
Yes.
Have added $5.1 trillion to the national debt.
Yes.
We know that as of now, Obama certainly hasn't added anywhere near that, and if you extend out what he's done so far, it'll only be to $983 billion. Not even $1 trillion, less than a fifth. So you can't tell me he spent more money than Bush, because he hasn't.
He has.
He hasn't.
He has. He's already at 20%. He's doing nothing is happening.
Wait. What did you just say? He's at what?
20%.
Okay, first of all, he's not actually at 20%. That's if they project it out. But let's pretend like he was.
Well, that's what you want to say. He projects it out, then I'm going to say that's what it is.
Let's pretend that it is.
Okay, 20%.
So then, how is that more?
He's at 20% if nothing happened.
How is that more?
Because now take...
Nope. How is that more? You said he spent more. How is that more?
He spent more without anything ever happening.
No. How is 20% of 5.1 trillion more than 5.1 trillion?
No, because
so then he has not spent more.
It's 20% of what Bush spent without doing what Bush did, or have to do what Bush did.
Without ruining what Bush has ruined?
No, see, that's what you just want to throw that out there.
You said he spent more.
He has. He spent more on social programs.
Okay, let me ask.
He spent more on things that cost money to the country that aren't necessary.
I can get you a calculator. That's not what the question was. The question was who spent more.
That is the answer.
More.
But how can you turn
5.1 trillion?
Okay, then you know what?
983
then this
billion.
Is what we do.
What number's bigger?
But
what
he's only been in office 2 years.
What
he's only been in
number's
office 2 years.
I don't care. What number's bigger?
It doesn't matter because you're not going apples to oranges. Okay, then let's go with the first 3 years of Bush and the first 3 years of Obama.
You can't do that.
Why not? Why not?
You know, I actually wouldn't mind seeing
I would like
but
to see
I don't know
that too.
what those numbers
Why
are.
can't you do that?
But what number's bigger, 5.1 trillion or 983 billion?
But it's not at 983 billion. It's not.
It's not even there yet. It's not even there yet.
We can't know. Let's go 10 years from now and bring the same conversation.
You're okay. Let's pretend like everything you've said right now is right. We can't know. It's not at 983 billion yet. So how has he spent more?
Because he's already spent money on things that cost more money
more than 5.1 trillion?
Bush did.
More than 5.1 trillion? More than 5.1 trillion, yes or no? You always tell me I don't answer. So then he has not spent more money.
He spent 20%.
Phatman is wrong.
No.
As usual, he has not spent more money.
No.
So when you say he spent more money, you are either wrong or lying.
He spent more money.
He has not.
He spent more money on unnecessary programs.
That's not what you said. 5.1 trillion, 983 billion, even though he hasn't spent that much yet, let's pretend like he has. What number's more?
this hasn't happened.
Exactly.
So how do you say it?
So then how can you say he spent more?
Because he spent more on social programs. He has, absolutely.
He has not spent more money.
He has! He's only been in office 2 years!
So he hasn't spent more money.
In 2 years, he's already got us on track.
Do you know how math works?
Yes.
No, you don't.
You know, because you want to want to go by if everything stays status quo.
But you want to say
if everything stays status quo, he spent less. That
he has spent less no matter what. If you compare the
numbers.
Not
no matter what.
If you compare the numbers.
Not no matter what. You just said no matter what.
As of today, no matter what, the numbers are there. He spent less.
No, he hasn't.
He has.
Oh my. So you're
Bush
saying
spent $5.1 trillion.
In 10 years.
Has Obama spent that much?
Has he been 10 years?
Has he spent that much yet?
Has he been in 10 years?
No. Has he spent that much yet?
Has he been there 10 years?
That's not what I'm asking. You said he has spent more. You haven't said he will spend more. You haven't said he's going to spend more. You said he has spent more. Has he spent $5.1 trillion?
Has he been in 10 years?
That's not what my question was.
You are not answering my question. Of that already.
You are not answering my question. My question to you is, has he spent more or less than $5.1 trillion? More or less?
Yes.
More or less?
Yes.
See, you can't answer a question either. Phatman doesn't like to answer the questions when he doesn't like to hear the answer.
Because you don't want to understand what I'm saying.
You're always complaining I don't answer. You're always complaining.
Okay, as of today, no, he has not.
Oh my God, really?
But
so every time you've said he has spent more, then you were wrong.
No, he spent 20% of it already with nothing happening.
Has he spent more money than Bush?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now, since you want to play numbers,
now you want to say he will spend more.
He will definitely spend more.
That's
absolutely more because he's already spent that much in just 2 years.
We will see. 3 years.
In 3 years, he's already spent
actually
that
20%.
In 3 years.
20% in 3 years is actually on pace to do less.
But he doesn't have a war that he had to deal with. You keep going back to that.
All right. Well, he's a war that he caused himself.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you can always reach me at fatman@fatmanlittleboy.com.
I'm at littleboy@fatmanlittleboy.com. I'm also on Twitter at lbhost.
And I'm on Twitter, but to be honest with you, I hardly ever go on Twitter. Yeah. It's Phatman Show.
Yes.
And phone number is 858-522-9164.
Yes, call us and leave us a message.
And
tell Phatman how wrong he is.
No.
He needs to hear that. He needs to hear that more.
I can't believe how upset you get. It's so fun to get you upset.
Because you say some stupid stuff.
It's so funny how you'll come in with stupid things and then you won't have anything to back it up.
Boy,
all right,
I showed you.
Oh
my God, you're the one who's.
We'll talk to you later, and gosh, make sure you see our other shows. We have quite a few now on our lineup. You can go to pmlbmedia.com, and there's a whole link of different stuff on there, as well as other media partners that we have. And that's it. I guess we'll see you real soon.
Take care.